Hey, here I am, back again. Me and Ros will be coming back with the posts in the next couple of days. But Ros got me this, or should I say Santa Claus got me this lovely Aklot tenor for Christmas, and it's the AKET26, and it's an acoustic electric. It has got the batteries there. Go in the box. I'll go more about that. But I thought, normally I haven't done reviews for a long time, but I thought this is one I've been looking at for a long time, this tenor ukulele. It had to the collection, and I've got lots going from price ranges of about £25 to £350, and this sits in a bracket of about 70. To let you know from the start, Aklot that make these have not contacted me. Ros bought this with her own money for my Christmas present, so they've not been in touch or anything. This is an independent review, as like I always give, and this is a ukulele in a brand I think you should have. It comes in this one at about £70, and they do them in sopranos and concerts. But why I've done a review is not because I'm just blown away with it. I read all the reviews and thought, this is a fantastic uke and it's too good to be true. I've got to get one. Ros, will you get me one for Christmas? And everything they said is true and more. And I'll go through why. And why I've done the review is there's a couple of things that other reviews have done and they haven't told you about, which I think are very important. But anyway, I'll start off. The ukulele itself, it comes in a lovely presentation box, so that looks good, doesn't it? And inside that you get, this is all for £70 by the way, you get a great case with the Aklot thing, and it's got a nice zipper front so you can put all bits and pieces in. You also get this jazzy strap, which is brilliant, and it also comes for those that like, I've took this piece of string off one of the ends because some people like, and it's got these buttons, strap buttons there and there, they're already on. You know, that's a task to put them in, and this comes with them already on, and your strap fits easily onto there. And if you've got the cord, some people like to put it under the strings and attach the strap from that button to under there, whereas I like to be able to take that string off and attach one from there to the other strap button. But that's personal choice. It's a solid mahogany top, so that helps with the sound, and it does sound great, which we'll go through in a minute. I like it because, as many of the followers, and thanks for all those that do follow our channel, know, we run a group called Eagle Ukes, and I fell in love with this because yes, it's a dove of peace on there, and on the headstock there's the Aklot sound. It's got the little dove of peace on there, but I think they're eagles, aren't they? Oh, they look near enough an eagle to me. And this is where we first come in. As I say, it's nice and lightweight. It's great. You can see the electrics on the top, and I'll go through them in a minute. It's lovely and lightweight for Electro Acoustic. My other Electro Acoustics tend to, with the 9-volt batteries in, tend to be quite heavy. This, because it uses a couple of CR203.2s, which they give you as well. They actually give you the batteries as well. It's great. But the first thing is, as I say, it looks amazing. This is laminate sides and laminated back, and the back is slightly arched, again to help project the sound out of the sound hole. But the first thing I wanted to mention is the strings. I fitted this, it comes with a high G string like most ukes do, and I like low G strings. So I got my Fremont string, and why I picked Fremont is I tried an Aquila and I didn't want to alter the slots in the nut, and sometimes you've got to do that with a low G string because it's thicker. And I didn't want to do that with these, didn't want to alter it. And the trouble is, when I put the Aquila red in, it just broke within a minute or two. And so, right, I'm going to get a wound string, and this is a Fremont, and it fits in that groove where the other high G string, it fits in great. It's still settling in, I've only had it in a day or two. But this comes on to the other reviews miss out. They say it's through body. The attachment of the strings is through body, and what that is there's 4 holes in here, one for each string, and when you replace the strings you just undo them here as you normally would, unwind them, and then you push them through. And I thought that's what I'd only have to do with this G string to replace it, and I was pushing and pushing and pushing. I thought, why is it not coming out? Because you've got to grab through here. That's a slight downside to it. You know, if your fingers aren't nimble to get in and get the strings and pull it through and put a knot in it, and it wasn't coming out. and then so I had to take up all the strings off and push them all through, and then it became apparent that the G string was attached to the C string underneath. It was tied together, so no matter how much I was pulling that this way, it would never come out. So that's one thing. If you're replacing a string or strings, you really need to loosen them all off the tuning pegs, push them all through, and have a look at the knots underneath. When you're putting a string back in, I'll just demonstrate on a string here. When you've pushed that through and you pick it back through out of here, you might have to use a chopstick or something, or some pliers to get hold of it and pull it through. The knot I would recommend you do is, you've got plenty of leeway, plenty of length on these strings that you normally buy, whatever types you want. So put a normal little knot in like that, but when you knot again, I would push that back through there, so that when you pull it together, you want a big knot. What I'm trying to get at is you want a big knot on there, so that when that's pulled through, it sticks underneath. It doesn't get pulled back through the hole because you're using a bit of tension on here. So you're pushing your string through the little hole here. You're pulling it out, and when you've got this end, you tying your knot, and then you're pulling your string back. You know, you've obviously not pushed it all through. You've got a thread here to get hold of, and then you're pulling it out. Put a big knot in there, then pull it out hard, and then attach it to your tuning peg and tune it up. As I say, I had to take that one out, so that was a tip. Don't put a little knot in, because the first time I put a small knot, it tended with under tension, it pulled it straight through. So you want a big knot on that side. What else do you get in your kit? You get a spare set, and it comes with Aquila super and Aklot strings, which I think are great. I love Aquila strings, so that's great. And you also get a spare pack. It doesn't say these are Aquilas, but they look like a spare pack of Aquilas in your kit as well. As I say, you get your 2 batteries, and those, again, a lot of the reviews don't show you what to do, so you'll need to, this little battery compartment comes in here. Whoops. It's in there. You need to press that little lever back, get something underneath, and be careful, but then just pull it out. Once you've pulled that out, you get your batteries, and that's the negative side. You put that negative side in there. That's one battery with the positive side outermost, and then you do the same with that one. You put the negative on the positive, press it in so there's the 2 positives, so it looks like that. Yeah, negatives on the bottom there, positive on the top, and then you push that back into your, let me have a look, push that back into there firm, so it's pressed home, only going one way with that little catch at the bottom. And then when you look on the top here, press your tuner button. Now this has got a built-in tuner as well, which I think is unbelievable. My other Tenor Acoustic, which cost a lot of money, had all of this in, but it didn't have a tuner, so you're always putting a tuner on the top. So then you can just G, and that's another thing now, even with a low G, it's still picking that G up. Sometimes I have to go into with my tuner, I have to go into a chromatic setting to get a low G in to use a tuner. But this one, doesn't matter whether it's a low G or the high G string, you've got it, and you just turn your pegs, tighten them up. It came pretty well set up. I mean, the setup's superb. I didn't have to alter anything. It's just absolutely the right height. There's no buzzing, there's no nothing. It's absolutely perfect, and it looks brilliant. Like I say, this lovely laser etching around here looks good as well. It's great, I love it. So yeah, you just use your tuner, and on here as well, on this little preamp, it's got you've got your low, middle and top in there, bass, middle and treble. I tend to have the middle and treble turned down a little bit and the bass up. I like a more bass sound. And then I've also got, this is your volume button here, and you can run this through your amp. I've got a little amp, and believe you me, I haven't got my amp here, I should have done, but the sound through the amp is superb. It really is. Ros was blown away with it. Sounded really good. But anyway, and when you finish tuning up, if you're going to play it through your amp, or even if not, always switch that off. because if you've got it in through your amp and you leave that on, you'll not hear anything out your amp. It cuts that out. It cuts the sound off. So once you finish tuning your uke, switch that tuner button off so you don't get anything. It's in tune, and away we go. What else have we got? Oh, you get a little cleaning cloth. I rarely use them, to be honest. It comes with some. It also comes with a couple of picks in there. You've got a felt pick and a plastic pick. So I don't use picks, but some people use felt picks. It also comes with a book to contact them if you've got any issues. And this comes through Amazon, and Amazon do free returns. So again, if you get the ukulele, it's a win-win situation. If you don't like it for whatever reason, you just freely send it back. This book is generally pretty good, and it's classed as a beginner's. It shows you the different size ones you can get: the soprano, the concert, and the tenor. Now these are just the acoustic versions, which are about £10, only £10 cheaper than the electro. So I would tend to get the electro acoustic ones in case you ever want to go on and use an amp or go on stage and perform. But you've got these three different sizes. They don't do a baritone as far as I know in it. Oh, the other thing I've just remembered: be a bit careful if you are changing your strings with the electrics in there. You see these electric wires. You've got to be careful you don't stick your hands in or anything in and start disturbing them. So that's just a little point out. But you've got all sorts in your books about ukulele and how to play different chords. It is a little bit technical, this, when it's aimed at, I suppose, beginners. It is a little bit technical. It even goes as far as tabs in the back, how to read tab. But for those that's interested, you know, very good. Anyway, that's about it. As I say, I've put a low G string on here. I hope it's in tune. But to give you what everyone's probably waiting for is, okay, Graham, you've raved about it, and I think it's the holy grail of ukuleles. I think if I'd have got this one when I first started playing ukes 20 years ago, if they did them then, I think I would have saved a lot of cash, to be honest, because I've got about 14 of them in our collection, and this is just brilliant. But it's finger picking, sounds something like this, and great, isn't it? Lovely sound, good volume, lovely sustain, long sustain, and carrying on with that while my guitar gently sits. A bit of strumming. So I hope this has been of some use. As I say, I thought I'd have to do the review, mainly because of this restringing, because we'll all have to do that at some point. The only other downside I could see is this sound hole. I've got small hands, it's hard sometimes to get in there and get the strings, and I would imagine in the concert and the soprano, where this hole's probably smaller, the sound hole, it's going to be even harder to get in. So that's more difficult. They could have probably just put a slot bridge in here, but then you wouldn't get this lovely dove of peace, or eagle as I call it. And as I say, the other thing I mentioned is the batteries, putting the batteries in and out. It can be a little bit tricky. I thought I'd do the review just for that. But mainly there's lots of other reviews out there. Have a little look, research them all. But in my book, it's a no-brainer. For £70, this is just by far, I would say, the best uke I've ever had or ever played. So there you go. Take care, and we're back in a few days, and it'll be me and Ross singing you something. Hope you've had a lovely Christmas and all the best for the new year in 2022. Bye for now.